Hello, I'm Barbara Barron from Classic Rug Collection in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for visiting us at Cover Curates. I'm showing 12 of my greatest hits, including Rhythm, which is the rug that you see here. The first time that I did Rhythm was for an installation in South Carolina where I did 12 rugs for the client. This piece is based on a diptych by Charles Delaunay. And for the piece that I did for South Carolina, I used 150 knots and I used natural silk and New Zealand wool. This was a more elegant home and it tied in with the feel of the installation. And the Rhythm rug was really the linchpin. I took all of the colors and all of the design elements from that piece. In this installation, this was done for my sister's home, and I decided to change the colors and pick up the deep tones of her sofa. So that became one of the elements of the rug. I also changed to 100 knots, and this rug is made of New Zealand wool without the silk. My sister has a 70-pound Aussie, so in deference to Blue, I took out the silk and I lowered the knot count. The other reason that I did this is that I have more flexibility in terms of cost. So when I'm designing a rug for clients, I like to ask the budget, and then I can vary my materials and my knot count in order to suit that particular installation. As you can see, this rug not only coordinates with the sofa, but also coordinated with the Paulson lamps, which have the same color and that same repeating curve. You can see over my shoulder a beautiful handmade piece of glass in a light aqua, and that also picks up the tones of the rug. And then as you look further into the dining area, there's a rug that I designed for my sister about 15 years ago, and the colors work together beautifully. The curve of the Moeller chairs and the color of the leather, again, create an ambiance. And if you look beyond that, even the artwork in the entryway has the same deep tones as the sofa. And this isn't something that becomes matchy-matchy. It's really a subtleness that ties everything in the installation together to give you a unified design. In 2018, the European Cultural Center invited me to exhibit a rug at Venice Design. This is a juried show that's held at the same time as the Biennale. The venue was the Palazzo Michiel, which is on the Grand Canal, 2 doors down from the Ca d'Oro. So I decided that I wanted to do something that related to Italian culture, and I decided to create Firenze, a mosaic rug. I spent a lot of time looking at Deruta pottery, looking at the various elements that I thought that I would use. Then I tore those elements into little pieces and assembled them a number of different times until I had a pleasing arrangement. The main part of the rug was made out of 300 knot natural silk, and the grout lines were New Zealand wool. The piece is 9 feet by 12 feet, approximately 3 by 4 meters, and it was mounted in the main salon of the palazzo. You can see the glorious surroundings in the photograph. After I assembled all of the pieces, I decided on a key for the colors, and I sent that key to my manufacturer. I know a lot of you always ask how I do my rugs, how the manufacturer knows exactly what I want. And the answer is that I send them many drawings. As you can see, everything is numbered, and I indicate on the drawings what is silk, what is wool, what's high, what's low, if something is a melange of colors, if it's blending, that's indicated. And so the final result is a rug that is one of a kind. The 300 knots really make this piece special. You can see the quality of the work. And this rug is almost as beautiful on the back as it is on the front. My company is the only US company that offers 300 knots as a standard part of their line. And I love the way that the sheen of the silk plays against the matte lines of the grout. I was in an antique shop in London when I saw a beautiful cigar case. And what really appealed to me was the way the pattern moved across the enameling. And so I decided that I wanted to try to duplicate that in a rug. I was doing Maison et Objet with my French representatives who did Art Deco marble marquetry furniture, and I knew that this particular case transposed into a rug design would be perfect. So I decided to do a hand-tufted rug. I wanted to use silver lurex to try to mimic the movement of the pattern across the rug. And this rug is 6.5 pounds. It's New Zealand wool and silver lurex. Parts of the rug are cut pile, others are looped, and then there's a section that is a high-low that has a grooved element to it. The most challenging part of this rug was getting the carving done correctly, and it took about 3 or 4 tries until the manufacturer understood exactly what it was that I wanted. And when the rug was finished, they said to me, "This is a very beautiful and very strange rug." But it was fun to go with this piece at Maison et Objet and to see people get down on their hands and knees and feel the surface of the rug so that they could understand where the movement was coming from. Only one of this piece exists, and it is now in a home in Manhattan. Red is one of my very favorite rugs. For many years, I've been thinking about how to create an Oriental rug with a more modern idiom. It seems very strange to me that we go back to designs that are hundreds of years old without creating something with the same formality in a modern idiom. So red is my attempt to bridge that gap. And also, for many years, I wanted to do a Klimt collection, but I didn't want people to look at the rug and say, "Oh yeah, that's a copy of a Klimt." I took a very small section of Hope 2, and I repeated the elements. I shrank some of them, enlarged others. I recolored parts of the elements, and I also added the side borders in the 2 levels. And the field of the rug is a vibrant red that my old tufters used to call Barbara red because it was my favorite. The rug was handmade in Nepal, 200 knots per square inch. It's 75% natural silk, 25% New Zealand wool. And I also included the section from the original Hope that had the different colors in it, that had the aquas, the purples, and the reds, because I felt that it gave a certain flair to the rug. When I showed this rug at Decorex, it was a real showstopper, and I hope that you like red as much as I do.